What's up, you freaking geniuses? So, polynomial long division. How do you do it? Well, let me show you. So, here we have x squared plus x minus 17 divided by x minus 4. Okay, so it works just like normal long division. All right, so here we're going to put the top, we're going to write the top, right? So, x squared plus x minus 17 divided by, like that, the denominator, right? Which is x minus 4. Okay, so now what we do here is just divide the first term here into the first term here. Okay, so we just want to divide this x into this x squared, and I'll just do it on the side over here. So we're going to do x squared divided by x, right? We want to divide the x into the x squared. So x squared divided by x, well, we have two x's on top, one x on the bottom. This single x is going to kill one of the x's up here. So we're just going to be left with a single x on top, right? So we're basically left with x over 1, or we could just write that as x. Okay, so this is part of our answer, x. So where do we write that up here? Well, it would be right here over this other just x to the first power, right? These are both x to the first powers. So just make sure you line up your answer with the appropriate or the correct exponent, okay? So now that we have part of our answer right here, right, just like in normal long division, what do? You take this and you multiply it by this, right? So first we're going to do x times x, and that's equal to x squared. So that's going to go right here, right? Line it up with the other squared variable. And then we're going to do x times negative 4, which is negative 4x, right? So minus 4x, okay? So then let's, just like with normal long division, right? We're going to subtract these. So x squared minus x squared, that's just 0, right? That's nothing. And then here we have x minus negative 4x. So that's the same thing as x plus 4x. Okay, so that's positive 5x. Okay, now we have this extra term out here, so we're just going to bring that down. So that's just a minus 17, right? So minus 17. Okay, cool. So this is our remainder, but we can still divide this thing out here into this, right? So again, we're going to take this first term, just the x, and divide it into the first term here. So 5x, right? So then I'll just write it over here on the side again. 5x divided by x. And that's equal to just 5, right? So then, again, this is part of our answer right here, just a positive 5. So we just want to line that up with the numbers. So we're going to put plus 5 right there, right? Lined up with this other constant, the 17. Okay, and now again, we're just going to multiply this by our factor, or terms out here, right? So first of all, 5 times x is equal to 5x. So we're going to write 5x down here. And then 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Okay, so then we're going to subtract these again. So 5x minus 5x is just 0. And negative 17 minus negative 20 is the same thing as negative 17 plus 20, which is positive 3, right? So then we just have a positive 3 right there. Okay, so there's nothing left to bring down, so then this is our final remainder right here, just a 3, right? Okay, cool. So now we have all the parts to our answer. And if you're trying to figure out how to construct your answer, I find it helpful to sometimes just do a little long division problem. So if I wanted to, with just numbers, right? Because we already know how to solve those pretty easily. So if I wanted to do something like 5 divided by 3, right? So then I would divide 3 into 5, so 3 goes into 5 one time, and then 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract that, 5 minus 3 is 2. So then here, 5 divided by 3 is equal to 1 2/3, right? So we can see that for our answer right here, the big number that goes in front is just the answer that we have here on top. So in this case, that would be this x plus 5, right? So then first we would write x plus 5. And then how do we construct our fraction here? Well, it looks like our remainder goes on top of the fraction, right? So our remainder here was 3. So then here we're going to write 3. Okay, and what goes in the denominator here? Well, again, just looking at our simple example, our denominator here is the same thing we've been dividing by, right? It's what's in the denominator originally, or what's out here, right? The divisor. So here we originally divided by x minus 4, right? That's what we have out here also. So that means that's what goes in our denominator here, okay? And also we're adding these together, all right? Kind of the same thing over here. We don't actually write it, but that's actually what we're doing with this type of problem. So again, same thing. That's why we're adding these two right here. All right, so then your final answer right here would just be x plus 5 plus 3 over x minus 4. All right, so here we have 4x to the fourth plus 5x minus 4 in parentheses divided by x squared minus 3x minus 2 in parentheses, okay? So here it's written a little bit differently, but it's the same type of division problem, right? So this is basically our numerator, and this is our denominator, right? This is the divisor. So if we rewrite this as a long division problem, this is going to go on the inside of our division symbol. So we're going to say 4x to the fourth. And now I'm not going to write just plus, I'm not going to write this, plus 5x minus 4. What I'm going to do instead is put in some fillers, because if you see here, our biggest exponent here is a 4, right? And then it basically goes to x to the first. So you can basically see we skipped x cubed and x squared, right? So in these type of long division problems, we need to make sure we include those because we skipped over them, all right? So here, I'm going to write it as 0x cubed and 0x squared, okay? And now I can fill in the rest of this, so plus 5x minus 4, right? So plus 5x minus 4. And then out here, we have x squared minus 3x minus 2, right? So x squared minus 3x minus 2. Okay, and I'm going to move this up a little bit. There we go. Now, just like in the last problem, we're going to take the first term here and divide it into the first term here. So we're going to do, again, I'll write it out here. So we're going to do, first of all, this right here. So 4x to the fourth divided by x squared. So what's that equal to? Well, we have 4x's on top, 2x's on the bottom, right? So these two killed two of these up here. So we're just going to be left with 2 on top, right? So we're going to have 4x squared on top. Okay, so this is the first part of our answer, our quotient, right? And we want to line it up with the appropriate exponent. So we're going to put the 4x squared right there. Okay, cool. So we have part of our answer. So again, what we're going to do is just multiply this by this whole trinomial right here. So first of all, 4x squared times x squared is equal to just 4x to the fourth. Okay, and then 4x squared times negative 3x, that's going to be equal to, 4 times negative 3, that's equal to negative 12. And x squared times x is equal to x cubed. Okay, and then 4x squared times negative 2 is equal to negative 8x squared. Okay, so now again, we're going to subtract these. So 4x to the fourth minus 4x to the fourth, that's just 0. Here, 0 minus negative 12, x cubed. Again, it's the same thing as 0 plus 12, right? So here we have positive 12x cubed, okay? And then same thing here, 0 minus negative 8. That's the same thing as positive 8x squared, all right? Now we have an extra term here, so we're going to bring that down. So that's just a positive 5x. Okay, so this is our remainder so far. So again, we're going to just take our first term and divide it into the very first term right here, 12x cubed. All right, so again, I'll do it on the side. So 12x cubed divided by x squared. So that's going to be equal to 12x. Okay, positive 12x, right? So we're going to put that in our quotient right here. So positive 12x goes right there. Okay, so again, we're just going to multiply this by our trinomial right here. So 12x times 12x squared is equal to positive 12x cubed, right? And then we have 12x times negative 3x, and that's equal to negative 36x squared, all right? Lastly, 12x times negative 2 is negative 24x, all right? So that's what we have left. And again, we're just going to subtract these, right? So 12x cubed minus 12x cubed is just 0. 8 minus negative 36, that's equal to positive 44. So we're going to have positive 44x squared. Okay, and then 5 minus negative 24, that's the same thing as 5 plus 24, which is 29, right? So here we're going to have plus 29x. All right, then we have our last term right here that we're going to bring down, this minus 4. And now this is our remainder, right? But one more time, we're going to take our first term right here, this x squared, and now again, we're going to divide it into our very first term right here, the 44x squared. So 44x squared divided by x squared is equal to just 44, right? Positive 44, right? So we're going to put plus 44 right there, right? So we're going to take this part of our quotient and just multiply it by this guy. So first of all, 44 times x squared is just equal to 44x squared. And then 44 times negative 3x is equal to negative 132x. Okay? And then positive 44 times negative 2 is negative 88, right? So minus 88. Okay? So now we're going to subtract these guys right here. What do we get? So 44x squared minus 44x squared, again, is just 0. Here, 29 minus negative 132 is the same thing as 29 plus 132, and that's equal to 161, positive 161x. Okay, and then here, negative 4 minus negative 88 is equal to positive 84. Okay, there's nothing left to bring down, so then this is our remainder, right? So now let's write out our answer. And I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. Okay, so remember the first part of our answer is just this up here, the quotient. So 4x squared plus 12x plus 44. And then we're going to add on our fraction, right? So again, on top, we need to put our remainder, right? So we're going to put 161x plus 84. And that's going to go over our denominator, which is the same thing that we divided by the entire time, which is this guy out here, right? So x squared minus 3x minus 2, right? So that would be your final answer, boom, right there. So if you found the video helpful, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, just let me know in the comment section below.